Hello everyone, John Odom, drum set and percussion teacher here with Groove with Passion Drum Lessons. Today I'm going to go ahead and do a maybe kind of a different kind of instructional video. This is going to be a video on technique. However, the main subject I'm going to talk about is building endurance while playing the drums. I've got a student who's working on the song Stay Away by Nirvana. Now I looked this up. The tempo for this song is 165 beats per minute, okay? For me, that's fast, because I don't really play a whole lot of music myself that plays at quite that tempo. For some drummers, it's slow, okay? If you're one of those guys that plays 200 and up, that's fine. That's not me, that's cool. But anyway, 165 is a pretty good clip, and there's a lot of playing. This is a really heavy drumming song, okay? And so one of my students, he asked me, he said, John, I need to build my endurance. He says, I can't get all the way through the song. Okay, and he's been playing for a while. He's actually an experienced drummer, but I completely understand this. And so I thought about it, and I said, well, what can we do to build endurance? Well, what is endurance, number one? Okay, well, people who play sports, okay, like if you play basketball, I've got some students who play basketball and soccer. Let's take soccer, for instance. Soccer, you do a lot of running. You've got to have endurance, right, or stamina to be able to run several times up and down the field, without getting tired. Well, you build that up in practice, right? Marathon runners, they build up endurance through running, okay? So this is sort of like a marathon. However, I thought about this. Endurance for drumming is different, okay? You can go out here and run, walk treadmill, whatever, to build your wind up, and that's good. That's going to help you, but that's not going to help your arms be able to play. If you're playing, if you're playing heavy metal and you're playing a lot of double bass, that's not going to build up your endurance for your legs and ankles and feet, right? The only way to build up endurance on the drums is to play. Okay, you got to play the drums. All right, so next question then. Well, how do I get there? I don't think it's going to really benefit a drummer that much if we just sit there and just, okay, let me just go for as long and fast as I can. Let me just play. I mean, yeah, that's like sprinting. Okay, so sprinters, if you're run a 100-meter dash, sprinters have some endurance, okay, but they're more geared towards speed. Long distance runners, marathon runners, or if you run longer distances, you've got to have a lot more endurance because you're running farther, longer duration. And so when I was thinking about this and saying, trying to come up with ideas of how to build endurance, all right, not just speed, but endurance, that's the key. I thought, well, what if you make your duration of playing longer? Okay, longer duration, not just a quick burst of speed. And because if you just try to go as fast as you can, okay, I mean, some drummers can hold it out for a long time, but I don't believe that's really going to build your playing endurance. So I came up with this idea of how to, and I've kind of seen other drummers and teachers talk about this. So I'm not trying to steal from anybody else. I may have borrowed from someone, and if I'm stepping on any toes, that's not my intent. My intent is to help my student and anyone else who watches this video, because that's why I teach. That's why I put these videos out there. So the tempo for this song again is 165 beats per minute. So one way you can do this is you use a timer, okay, on your phone. This is my old phone, all right, and you use a timer and use a metronome. I'm using Soundburner, okay? So I'm going to do this for 5 minutes, and I'm going to start at 125 beats per minute. What I'm going to do is I'm going to play basically double stops, okay, eighth notes, like this right here, okay? Now, a couple of other ideas. It's not just about playing for a longer period of time to build endurance. And I read an article about this, a really well-written article. And basically the author was saying also, very important, to use good technique. Okay, so what is that? Well, I always teach my students this, all right? When you're playing, you want to let the sticks do the work. You don't do the work. Because if you're doing all the work, you're gonna get tired. Okay? You're gonna get tired. So if you'll let technique, work on your technique, make sure you're using a rebound, make sure you're letting the sticks do the work. Okay, you're not forcing every beat. You won't get tired. You'll be able to play for a lot longer period of time without getting tired. Okay, so that's a huge part of it right there. Also, how's your drum set up? Are you comfortable getting around the kit? If you're having to stretch and move awkwardly and contort yourself to reach some of your toms or cymbals, I know some drummers like their cymbals up high, but if that's, it takes more energy to reach up and hit a crash higher versus maybe a little lower. Okay, so make sure everything's easy and you've got natural movement around the kit. And then your sticks. If you want to use bigger, heavier sticks, that's fine. I use Pro Marks. I use the 5/8. Okay, these are the hickory rebound sticks. I like the 4s also, but these are great sticks. And 5/8 is a medium size. So for me, personally, I like the diameter. I've been using 5/8 for 16, 17 years, something like that, a long time. And I've used other sizes. I've used 2Bs when I was much younger. I used 7As. So I've used the bigger sticks, I've used the smaller sticks. But I've settled on the 5As, and these work well for me. I get plenty of volume, plenty of sound. Remember, with your cymbals, crashes, you don't need to hit crashes super hard. You can only get so much volume out of them. And I'm not saying barely touch them. Okay, you got to get an explosion of sound. That's what a crash does, right? Crash cymbals, it's like an explosion of sound that comes out. But you don't need to crank down on a cymbal. You can break it. Okay, so there's no reason to break cymbals. So anyway, let me get started with this. So this is going to be 125 beats per minute. Now let me say this. For anyone who watches this and maybe you're a beginner student or less experienced, you don't have to start at 125. If you need to start at 80 or 90 beats per minute, slower, that's perfectly fine. Because it's better to start at a slower tempo and be able to build up. You want to be able to finish the 5 minutes. Okay, so let me go ahead and get this started. I've got my timer, and we'll set that, and we'll get started with the metronome, okay? 125. 1, 2, 3, play. Nice and relaxed. These are also known as flat flams. Okay, both hands. Now stay focused when you're doing this, okay? It's easy if you're not careful to let your mind wander. Okay? Don't get bored with this. You gotta remember the benefit. Okay? So keep it up. Nice and steady. Try to make those sticks, keep them at the same height. Using rebound the whole time. Loose, relaxed grip. Okay? Make sure you're locked in with your metronome. And do this with the metronome, okay? It's so important, because without a metronome, you don't know what tempo you're at. See, with the metronome, and also I believe this will also help your timing as well. So it's really a multiple benefit exercise. Just keep it up. Stay relaxed. Just keep playing those steady eighth notes. Nice and steady. see my timer. I don't know how much longer I've got. Because I've got on the sound brand, on metronome. Cool thing about the timer on your phone, at least with an iPhone, it'll stop the metronome when the timer goes. So you'll know when you're done. With the first part, we got more to go. This is the 5-minute section, so this is the longest. This will be your slowest tempo. As we go, this is a 15-minute exercise, okay? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. As we decrease the time, the duration, we increase the tempo. And I think this is a good way to help build endurance. Now, if you want to engage your feet, that's fine too. You want to play quarter notes of the bass drum? I move my hi-hat over there, but you can keep your kick and hi-hat, of course. So on and so forth, right? If you want to play eighth notes in your bass drum, go ahead. You got a double kick? Go ahead. Again, multiple benefit exercise. The whole idea is to keep playing. You're building endurance, building up your ability to play longer for a longer period of time, maybe at a faster tempo, right? A Christian rock band, okay, called Just a Few Frogs. And some of our songs, we don't do heavy metal, okay, but we are a Christian rock band. So we've got some songs that are pretty high energy. And there's a few of them, when we get done with that song, I'm kind of shaking my arms out a little bit. I can feel the blood flowing. It's good. It's a good workout. When we play a set, we play 10, 11, 12 songs. After about 45 minutes to an hour, I'm ready for a break. So, still a little workout. But this right here helps me just like it can help anyone else. You'll just take the time to do it. Okay. And there's the first 5-minute section, okay? Now I'm going to go ahead and jump up 10 beats per minute in tempo. So I'm going to go to 135. That might be too much for you. You can, if you want to start, let's say you start at 100 beats per minute, okay? 100. Do that for 5 minutes. If you want to go to 105, you can do that. There's no hard, fast rules with this. The idea, though, is that as you increase the tempo, but you decrease the duration. Okay. Now, if you want to increase the tempo and try the same duration, you may have to experiment to find out what's your optimum tempo. Okay. Now, you want to stay relaxed. Don't be doing anything weird or forcing anything. You don't want to get tendonitis. You don't want to injure yourself. Okay, so be careful. Make sure. That's why we want to use good technique. Good technique. Because if you use good technique, we sit up straight, good posture at the drum set. Don't hunch forward. Okay, you're gonna have a lot less chance of injuring yourself. Okay, so I'm gonna go to 4 minutes now. Actually, I'm gonna raise it to 135. I'm going to go up 10 BPMs. Going to change this to 4 minutes. There's the timer. And 4 minutes. Okay. You might need to adjust your stick height. As we get faster, right? You're not going to be able to move the sticks as far. Where control comes into play, right? Very important. Got to stay in control. That's something I tell tell my students all the time. I teach several younger students, 6, 7 years old, even out of 4-year-old that I teach. And I tell them that all the time. Control. You don't want the sticks coming too high off your hi-hat or right cymbal, or when you're playing fills, right? Don't move more than you need to. Nice and relaxed. Nice, consistent, steady eighth notes. Just like this. And this is 135 beats per minute. Eighth notes. Both hands. Keep it going. Nice and steady. If you start to feel a little burn, right? Blood flowing through your arms, that's good. That's what you want. Okay? That's what you're going to have when you're playing your faster tempos. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a real fast tempo song. It can be a song where you just play a lot. It can be just a drum heavy song. Maybe there's a lot of fills, or it could be maybe a 16th note group. Either one-handed or two-handed 16th notes. But it doesn't necessarily have to be a fast tempo song. It's going to require you to have endurance. So this isn't only just for playing faster. Remember, this is for being able to get through a song, or how about through, again, like I mentioned earlier, through a whole set. Let's say you're going to play a 10-song, 1-hour set with your band, right? Well, you want to be able to get through that set without feeling like you're exhausted. I mean, of course you'll be tired when you're done. What if you're going to do 2 sets? Or maybe 3 sets even. It's a lot of energy to play 15, 20 songs. It's a lot. Gotta have endurance to do that. One way to build it up. Nice and steady. Okay. So that was 135 beats per minute for 4 minutes. Now, another option we have. This is with the practice pad. Of course, you can do this on your snare if you want. Okay, obviously. You can also practice on a pillow. That's why I brought this in here. Okay. In the world of drumming community, there's different ideas about playing on a pillow. Some drummers say not to. One of my favorite drummers and teachers, Mike McAlco. He teaches with Drumeo. Okay, amazing drum teacher and a great guy. But he actually did a video on playing on a pillow. Okay, pillow, of course, obviously you're not going to have any rebound, so you have to lift the sticks here. But I believe it'll help build endurance and also help build speed. Okay, you can do singles, doubles, paradiddles, single stroke 4. Several rudiments you can play on a pillow that don't require rebound that can help build especially your wrist and forearms. Okay, so I'm going to move this up to 145. And we're going to do this for 3 minutes. So faster tempo, shorter duration. This time on the pillow. And here it goes. Here we go. Nice and steady. Try to keep your sticks even as possible. Now here I am doing all the work, right? I'm not able to use rebound to help me. Not with a pillow, you don't have that. Steady. Always using good technique. Still using loose, relaxed grip. Okay. Fingers and wrists, right? Not really using a lot of arms right now because I'm just playing on one surface, so I'm not using a lot of arms. Okay. Mostly wrists and fingers, right? The faster you play, the more you need to relax. Okay, and that's hard to do, right? That's asking a lot. I always tell my students that asking a lot. You know, play faster, relax more. Easier said than done. The tendency is to tense up, to try to get that tempo in there. Okay, but you really have to try to deep breathe, right? If you need to. Take some deep breaths, relax. There you go, so you have to reset. And if you can't do the full 15 minutes, that's fine. I'm just doing this, again, this is an idea I came up with. And I'm not saying I invented this. I'm not the only drummer or drum teacher that's done this, okay? But this is out of necessity. And I've got the one student who needs to work on endurance, right? But, he's not the only one, okay? I need to work on my endurance too. We all do, probably. Most of us. This is a good way to work on it right here. Just got to spend the time on it. You don't necessarily have to do this every single day. You did it, 2 or 3 times a week maybe, and maybe not the full 15 minutes. But at least if you can work on it, put an effort into it, But I wouldn't recommend going to try to, play at your... I wouldn't recommend trying to play at your fastest speed for, let me go for 10 minutes at 180. I mean, if you can do that, fine. But I don't know if that's a good idea. You got to build this up, okay? Now, if you're a drummer and your endurance is already good, that's great. If you've been playing for a while, you're an experienced drummer, fantastic. But if you're someone who maybe you're a newer drummer, maybe you're trying to play music that has a lot of energy, fast tempos or whatever, heavy drumming, this might be the exercise for you, right? So I'm going to go up to 155 beats per minute. We're going to do this for 2 minutes. So we went up another 10 beats per minute, and we're going to do this for 2 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and do this on the pillow again one more time. And again, it's really up to you. If you want to do all on the pad, that's fine. If you want to switch back and forth between the pad and the pillow, or if you want to spend some time just on the pillow. I recommend, my personal recommendation is pad more than pillow, because your drums, cymbals, hi-hat, they do have some rebound. So it's very rare you're gonna hit a surface that's just has no rebound at all. But it is good to play some on a non-rebound surface. So grab your pillow, throw it on your snare drum if you want, and just play. So this is going to be 2 minutes at 155 beats per minute. Get pretty fast now. There we go. Keep it moving. Stay relaxed. Probably not going to lift your sticks as high now, right? This faster tempo. Now at this point, my left hand, which is my weaker hand, is kind of having a tough time keeping up with my right hand. You might find that, that might happen, okay? Especially if you've got a stronger hand or weaker hand, like a lot of drummers. Now, some drummers are blessed, a few, and both hands are equal, okay? That's not me. My left hand is definitely my weaker hand, okay? This will go a way to build up your weaker hand, I believe. Not only for the overall endurance, but also your weaker hand. A lot of times our snare hand is not used to playing a lot of notes, right? Do this exercise, it's playing the same amount of notes as your stronger hand. So, good way to build it up. Again, using good technique, right? Staying relaxed. Don't hold your breath. Some people hold their breath and they tense up, clench your teeth, clench your neck, shoulders. Don't do any of that. Try to make sure everything's relaxed. And just play. Again, adjust the tempo if you need to, okay? I'm doing these tempos just because of the song, okay? But if you need to start at a slower tempo, or if you want to start at 200, that's fine. Knock yourself out. You can do that wherever, wherever you're at. Now, I'm actually feeling that. That's feeling pretty good. Okay, I'm actually feeling, got the blood flowing. Good little workout. I'm going to switch back to the pad now. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and go up to 165. That was the reason why I started at 125. So for my last little segment for 1 minute, I'm actually going to go and play at the tempo of the song. Okay, so that way, at least for the last minute, I'm playing at 165. And again, if you need to adjust the tempo as necessary, okay? So this will be 165. I'm going to adjust my timer for 1 minute. And here we go. Left hand's having a hard time keeping up. At this point, you're using a lot of fingers. Stay relaxed. And that's pretty short. That's for 1 minute. So last segment, that to me, that's almost like in a, let's say if it's an 800-meter race, for instance, okay? And you're coming around, you're in the first few laps, and then, when the runners, when they come around that last, I don't know, couple hundred yards, they kick it, all right? They're going whatever energy they've got left as fast as they can go because they want to try to win the race. So I think it's kind of like that. You come around in last lap, last half a lap or whatever, and that's kind of where you get the last burn in, okay? So again, just duration, okay, to build endurance. Again, if you want to incorporate your feet with that, you can play these exercises with your feet, perfectly fine, hands and feet together. You could throw in some 16th notes as well. If you get bored with this, hopefully you won't, but if you do, you could throw in some 16ths. But I really think playing those 8th notes, so really, it's a good workout, okay? So for lessons like this, I am currently enrolling new students. I am a full-time music teacher. I've been teaching for 13 years. Currently, I do teach at Orlando Fine Arts Academy. We are a music and art school. We're located in Lake Nona on Narcoossee Road. And there at our academy, we teach dance lessons, art lessons. We've got voice lessons. They've got flamenco. They do ballet. They do adult tap dancing. We also teach most instruments, okay? And I've been there for over 6.5 years, since the school opened. And so we're enrolling new students there. I also teach with lessons in your home. If you prefer in-home lessons, if you live here in the Orlando area, or maybe like near Oviedo, north of Orlando, I can come to your house if you like. And if you don't want to go through someone else, another company, I also teach privately. I teach students directly, okay? And also along with teaching at the school, along with teaching lessons in your home, I also do teach Zoom lessons right here. I do online lessons, okay, virtual. So, and I've been background checked, certified safe to work with children, okay? I teach not only, my youngest student is 4, my oldest student is 65, okay? So if you're an adult and if you're thinking about taking lessons, feel free to contact me. It's not too late to start, and you can have fun learning to play the drums, all right? So the contact information will be on the video. Thank you for watching. I hope you get a benefit out of this video today. Take care. You have a blessed day.